Hi everyone, this is Miss Joelle, the new librarian here at Poly. I am so excited to be here and I wanted to give you a little bit of information about myself and what my vision for the library this year is. I'll come back to this slide at the end where you can take down my email address and feel free to email me with any further questions. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Westminster, so I'm pretty local. I come from a family of educators. My grandma was a kindergarten teacher. My mom was a teacher and then a principal locally. And I attended UCI for my undergrad, where I majored in sociology and minored in education. And then I'll skip down to the bottom. Then I moved to Italy for a few years where I taught English. And once I returned from Italy, I went to Azusa Pacific to get my credential and my master's in digital teaching and learning, which is basically the technology of, the concept of teaching through technology. Um, I have been a teacher for my entire career, so this is my first time as a librarian, but I have dreamed of being a librarian my whole life. So I'm very, very happy to be here. I previously worked in Newport Mesa, Ocean View, and then for the longest amount of time in Huntington Beach City School District, where I taught fourth grade, fifth grade, and then moved up to middle school and taught sixth grade. Just a little bit about me. I obviously love reading. I love to swim. I love to travel the world, obviously before COVID, but hopefully that will be able to happen again soon if circumstances allow. I love yoga. I love to cook. I love to knit. And I pretty much love everything about books, talking about books, reading with friends, giving book recommendations, finding book recommendations on social media. So I love books. The library rules this year are pretty basic, but they really encompass everything. So being responsible, being safe, and being respectful. And the rule that is they're all important, but the one that really speaks to me is to be respectful. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I would like our library culture to be. Um, I want the library to be a space where everybody is welcome, where everybody feels safe, where everybody feels comfortable to be who they are and to express themselves. It's real that we're all humans and are going to have bad days, but I ask that students vocalize that and let us know if they're having a bad day so that we can help support them and give them what they need to get through it. Things like rudeness are just harmful and will prevent this from feeling like a safe space for everyone. So I ask that even though sometimes you may not feel like always being kind, that you express your emotions and what you're going through so that we have an understanding of where you're coming from. Another really important thing that I want to address in the library is the fact that adults don't always have all of the answers. I know oftentimes in a school setting, the dynamic is the student doesn't know the information, they ask the teacher tells them. I really want to get away from that in the library, and I want students to understand that through access to information, they have the answers too, that students are able to find answers. Some students already have knowledge of answers in their head that the adults may not even know. And so I want us to understand that in this library space, everybody's ideas are welcome, everybody's knowledge is welcome, and that we need our communal knowledge. We need to bring everything together to be able to succeed. So just knowing that this is a space where you can research, where you can find information, and that information will be valued. Obviously, it is a library, so we will be scholars and researchers. We will all fail, but we'll learn from our mistakes and hopefully grow from them. And when I say we will all fail, that could be, you know, academically, that could be socially, that could be emotionally, that could be, it could look different in many ways, but hopefully we will learn and grow from those mistakes that we will make. I also want this to be a space where we feel safe to share emotions and feelings. When I said that this is a space where I want everyone to be comfortable, there may be discomfort in sharing some emotions and feelings, but that authenticity and being real and authentic is going to help us work through those. Um, this space, like I said, I want it to be a safe space for many things. I want students to be able to come into the library to study. I want students to be able to come into the library to find a quiet spot to read. If maybe they just need a break and need to put their heads down. I want this to be a space, hopefully when students are back in person, where we can have clubs, where we can host things that students are excited about. So the library is going to be a place where there's room for a lot of different type of interaction, and I want to make sure that regardless of what's happening in the library, that everybody feels welcome here. So what are my goals as a teacher librarian this year? The first is obviously to provide access to information for students, to help them find library resources, eventually through Canvas. I'm hoping to have my own Canvas to push out to students soon. Um, and as of right now, all that information and those resources to any sort of research databases and things like that can all be found on our new library website. So if you want to take a minute to write down that URL, it will be on a future slide as well. I want to help provide students access to public library cards right now while they are not able to get books from our library. However, in a few weeks, we will be starting curbside pickup, which will mean that students will be able to access books from the library here on campus, and I'll be sending out information about exactly how they'll do that soon. I want to provide students access to help with their technology. I want to put print material in their hands, and then I want to hopefully introduce them to a lot of digital media that they have access to as well. And then also very importantly, I want to co-teach with your students' teachers. So that means that I will be coming into classrooms this year to mostly help with research and teaching students how to research, teaching students what to do with that information, how to evaluate it to make sure that it's reliable. So we will be practicing analyzing the different sources that they find through their research, and how to effectively use and present information. So once you have the research and you've gathered your information, what do you do with it? So those are the things that I'll be covering when I come into classes to hopefully teach. And here's a question of how you as a parent can support your child through the library. The most important thing that I ask of you is to please always encourage your child to have a book. So this may mean helping them navigate the public library system right now while Poly is still closed. Or once curbside pickup does begin, allowing them to come to school, providing any transportation they may need, and really making sure that you're always asking them what they're reading and talking to them about their books as well. And then secondly, if you could help your child navigate our new library website to see all of these resources, that would be beautiful. I will be doing this as well in in students' classes, but I do ask that that you go through that website with them as well and show them all of the different tools that are linked. And maybe they don't need you to sit and walk them through it, but at least encouraging them to look at it and to explore it on their own. So that is it. My best way to contact me is going to be through email at ejoelle@lbschools.net. That is the way that I will be the quickest at responding. You can contact me by phone. I am on campus in the library Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and this is my number and my extension. However, I am much faster at responding via email. You can also reach out to me and Jessica, the library media tech, on Instagram at LB Poly Library. So if you search for us on Instagram and give us a follow, there'll be a lot of information coming out through our Instagram as well. So, like I said, if you have any other questions, you know where to find me. I'm really, really, really happy to be here at Poly, and I can't wait to meet you and your students all in person, hopefully sometime soon. Have a beautiful week.